Chalo. So today we are going to finish unit 2. Okay. And tomorrow you are going to have your notes. Unit 2. Okay. Before proceeding to unit 4, I want you guys to have full clarity on these two units, unit 1 and 2. Okay. I would not want anyone to ask me any question on unit 1 or 2 when I am teaching unit 4. Okay. Once I have started unit 4, I will assume that you have read enough. Okay. And you have also revised those notes. Okay. Do not take anything for granted. You have to have multiple revisions also. And therefore, this is also one of the reasons why the test is on 27 June and nobody will get any extension. एक ही दिन मिलेगा, जिसने लिख दिया, नहीं लिखा, सिंपल सी बात है. Okay, attempt miss हो गया, next attempt. And on 27 June, I think you will get a mail very soon, today itself. The duration of the test will be 1.5 hours. It is a mini test, 1.5 hours. Okay, total marks would be 130. And you may write the test anytime between 12 to 6. This is the maximum concession that we can give from our side, that you can write anytime between 12 to 6 according to your convenience. Since it is Sunday, so we are not expecting any excuse from your end. Okay. Let us now start from what was the last topic yesterday? What was the last topic? Phenomenology. Okay. You can make this diagram or flow chart. दरवाजा बंद कर देना इसको. Done? Now let us start with phenomenology. Let us start from the beginning. Okay? Let us start from the beginning. What is phenomenology? Let me give you one example. Suppose you go to home after your work or after your studies. Okay? Then you will meet your parents. Okay? They will ask you how's your studies has been going on, how's your preparation been going on. Okay? Any requirement from our end. Okay? All these things you will say no अब सब बढ़िया चल रहा है, everything is perfect, कोई issue नहीं है. Okay, have some food, you must be so tired. Okay, have some food. हाँ बस पापा बस अभी लेता हूँ मम्मी अभी खाता हूँ. Then mother would ask you what would you like to have. Anything मम्मी जो आपको अच्छा लगे, whatever you like. Okay, okay, finally you will have your food. Okay, then you will say nice, it was really nice. Okay, अच्छा food था, चलो. Then you will go back to your home, you will study for some time, you will talk to your friends, call them up. और कैसे चल रही पढ़ाई यार, भाई टेंशन हो रही है, नहीं हो रहा. Okay, then you will hang up the phone. And then you will sleep off, and before sleeping off you will watch some YouTube or Netflix videos. Okay, or you may even upload your status on Facebook or Twitter. You will sleep. Next day you will wake up with some target. At 5 a.m. I will wake up, I'll study. Whatever story I told you right now, did you find anything bizarre or abnormal? No, everything is very normal. It is something which happens. It is the part of our life, right? You did not find anything abnormal here. The thing is, every conversation that you had with your mother, your father, the food that you had that was placed on the table for you, and the bed that was prepared, okay, and the phone which you picked up to call your friends, and the conversation that you had with your friend, and the YouTube, Netflix video that you saw before you slept off, all these things look orderly. Okay, when I told you these things, you consider it as part of common sense. Yes, this is our life is. But none of these things were objective reality. All these things were illusions, according to phenomenologists. Okay, how? Now I'm going to tell you. First line that you have to write is that objectivity, sorry, you will write objectivity likho. Objectivity does not exist in the social world. In the social world. Second, social order. Let me first write all those things, then I'll explain. Social order is an illusion. Third, we tend to typify the phenomena to classify things to make sense. Fourth, we use stock of knowledge to make sense of the world. First, write these things. Objectivity does not exist in the social world. Social order is an illusion. We tend to typify the phenomena to classify things to make sense. We use stock of knowledge to make sense of the world. We use stock of knowledge to make sense of the world. Okay. Now, how objectivity is illusion? How objectivity is illusion? Everything that you see around you is something that you make sense of every day. Red means stop when you are on the road. The same red would signify love when that red is presented in form of a flower. So we tend to understand these things because these things are those which we have been seeing since childhood, and that is why order to us in our mind exists. Why it exists? Because all of us agree that red rose means love. If all of us do not agree red rose means love, then it will be chaos, it will be chaotic situation. All of us agree that in the classroom students have to maintain discipline. When the discipline is not maintained, it is chaos. But the act of discipline is a norm, and we take these things for granted. Only then classroom as a structure looks like classroom, otherwise it is not a classroom. Social order is illusory. It gives you illusion that it exists. Family is an illusion. I'll tell you why it is an illusion. You agree that she is your mother, you agree that he is your father, you agree that this is your house, okay, and your friends agree that this is your house. Everything is going by agreement. We agree that this is 50 rupees note or 100 rupees note, otherwise that note does not have any value. It is only our agreement that we have bestowed on the objects or any individuals that the world now seems to make sense to all of us. Otherwise, world is nothing but illusion. We have agreed. When you see a bungalow, when you see large big gates, you agree and you make sense of it, and you start thinking some big personality must be living in, and that is how it makes sense to you, and you simply pass off by without commenting anything on that. Ye kaun aa gaya, ye kaun no, you simply make sense. This is very natural. Okay, so social order in itself is not objective. I'll tell you one more example. You saw someone hanging by the fan, okay, and you said, what did you say when you look at someone who's hanging by the fan? What is your first reaction? Your first reaction is suicide. This is how you look at the world. But why did we call it suicide? Because all of us agree that whenever any such case happens, that individual is hanging by the fan, it is generally regarded as suicide. So all of us have agreed to it. It could have been murder. Someone could have murdered that person, and he might have hung that person by the fan so as to give you an impression that it was suicide. There is no objectivity. There is no objective reality. This is what I'm trying to emphasize. Let me give you more examples. Okay. According to National Crime Record Bureau 2020, according to NCRB 2020 or 2021 report, Delhi and Kerala has highest crime rate. One day you woke up, you read this newspaper on Hindu. Okay, you read this news on the Hindu front page. NCRB data. Delhi, Kerala has highest crime rate. Now what will you do? You will consider it as objective reality. But is this objective reality? No. No, it is not objective reality. Why? When you look at this statement, it will give you impression Delhi and Kerala are not safe places for anyone to live. But you know what? Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, when you will ask this question to Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi has highest crime rate. Do you know what will he say? He will say, this shows the accuracy and the precision and the, honesty that with which Delhi government has given out records to the NCRB so that people could know that Delhi's administration is working efficiently day and night to enlighten people on the facts. And this shows Delhi administration and the bodies and the personnel working in the Delhi are are having high integrity. They do not want to hide facts. And this shows government is working properly. Alagi. Someone who wants to occupy Delhi, he will say Delhi is not a safe place. Kejriwal will say it shows our administration is highly honest and we have high integrity. That is why we let people know everything out rightly, whatever form it is having. We do not conceal information. And this shows NCRB or any body under Delhi government is working efficiently. What will you do? What will you do? Let me, and in fact, this also shows that the states which actually give you an impression must be having high rate are actually underreporting their crime rates. Bimaru states, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, UP. Instead of those, Delhi and Kerala are shown as the one having high crime rate. This is political matter. It is not the factual data. It is political data. What is reality? Let me ask you one more question. How will feminists observe this data? Look at how feminist interpretation differs from interpretation of Kejriwal and any common man. When feminists would read this information, Delhi and Kerala has highest crime rate. Feminists will question, how do you define crime? How do you define crime? Why? Do you guys know one thing? Crime is also social phenomena. Suppose you get married to a man. I'm talking about girls. Okay. I'm talking to girls right now. Suppose you get married to a man. Okay. And tomorrow he rapes you. Now you will get shocked. I have married to this man. How can he rape me? Nonsense. What nonsense are you saying? In India, The concept like marital rape do not exist. Do you know this? But in Western countries, where we have a lot of individualism, marital rape is recognized as crime. Marital rape, rape within marriage. And when this phenomena happens in India, what will your in-laws say? Are you mad, daughter? In-law? My son cannot do anything like this. This girl is nonsense. Okay. Police officials will say, crime. You are married, na? What? Can he rape? It was just a casual thing, na? Why are you reporting it as rape? You are married, idiot. The fact is that in Western countries, marriage is considered as an institution. In India, it is considered as, sorry, in Western countries, unlike India, in India we consider it as sacred institution. But in Western countries, it is considered as contract. Marriage is a contract outside. Anything which violates this contract amounts to be called as crime. In India, we call marriage as, sacred institution. Sato janam ka rishta. Okay. We build relationship for 7 generations of our lives. This is what marriage is. Marriage is something that is made in heaven. Who you are going to get married is made in heaven. This is how we think in India. We were destined to meet each other. You are love of my life. And one day, your love of your life is reporting crime against you and calling you are a rapist. And this is not recognized as rape. Marital rape is not recognized. The problem is when Delhi and Kerala would record highest crime rate or lowest crime rate, would that crime ever be recorded in that data? Because it is not considered crime, so it will never be reported. How do you define something as crime? How do you define something as crime? There is one scholar, Uma Chakravarti. Uma Chakravarti. He says, when woman is in the custody of police officials and when police officials try to molest her in the custody, when they try to rape her, sexually abuse her, it will be regarded as crime, it will be regarded as rape. But when instead of police station, the same instance is now happening in the household, it will not be regarded as crime. What an absurdity. The act is same. The victim is also same. Only the players have gotten changed. Instead of police officials, now we have in-laws. Now, if in-laws are doing the same thing, it is not crime. When police officials do it, it is crime. How do you define crime? Crime exists. Arey, what is crime? This is what she's asking. If you ask this question to Mr. Marx or Marxist scholars, how do you interpret this statement, Delhi and Kerala having highest crime rate? Do you know what will Marx say or Marxist scholars say? Marxist scholars will say, by reporting Delhi as a state ridden with highest crime, somehow the bourgeois mentality is reflected, because in Delhi what happens, most of the people working in Delhi are who? Migrant workers. And when you say Delhi as having highest criminal rate, who do you target? The working class who have come from Bihar, UP. Those people are to you criminals. You do not consider those people who have employed them and appropriated their surplus value, exploited them, did not give them minimum wage, you do not consider them as criminal, you consider these people as criminal. Who are criminals? What is crime? Understood what is phenomenology? Phenomenology says objectivity does not exist. We somehow make things objective, forcefully accepting those things. Yes, it exists. Otherwise, nothing exists. Everything is illusion. Nothing exists. Okay. Rest of the things you will now easily understand from the handouts. Let us now begin with ethnomethodology. 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 What is ethnomethodology? ये क्या लिख दिया है इतना बड़ा? Okay. Sohini Ganguly, I'll come to this question after the class. This is very controversial topic. Riya Jain, anything that violates existing law is crime. Riya, do you really think crime is law is objective phenomena? Just 2 minutes back, I told everyone, act is same. Women is raped in the police station. It will be recorded as rape. Women is raped in the family. It will not be recorded as rape. What is law? Law also evolves. After 20 years, you will see marital rape recognized as offense. Today, it is not recognized. There was a point of time when homosexuality was offense. Today, homosexuality is not offense. What is law? Law is not objective reality. Okay. Ethnomethodology. Ethnomethodology was basically very beautiful perspective. It is given by American sociologist Harold Garfinkel. Harold Garfinkel. He is, or was, in fact, I would say, professor of sociology in America. Very great personality. One fine day, what happened in his class? Then you will understand what is ethnomethodology. This professor, Garfinkel, was teaching in the classroom. Okay. After 20 minutes of lecture, he told the students, go back to your home. Once you have gone to your home, you would have to act as someone who is outsider. You, Mr. Atib Rahman, you would not be acting as son to your mother. You would be acting as an outsider. Pranshu, you would be acting as an outsider when you meet your mother or father. You are not their sons or daughters. You would have to act. This is what Garfinkel told his students. This was the project. See what happened. You will come to know why social order is illusion. Ethnomethodology basically, write down one line. Ethnomethodology, study of methods used by people to make sense of their everyday lives. Ethnomethodology is study of methods. Ethno मतलब क्या होता है? Ethno means people. Methodology means methods basically. Although method and methodology, technically speaking, are very different things, but still, to simplify it, study of methods used by people to make sense of their everyday lives. The students went back to their homes. I was one of the student. Okay, let us assume. What did I do? My mother, she asked me for dinner. I'll say, cook whatever you want to. Okay. I got my food ready. I had my food. And the moment I finished my food, I asked, nice, how much should I pay now? What is the bill? See, if you remember the last scene that I talked about, you had your dinner, you went to your room, you watched Netflix movies, Instagram, थोड़ा check कर लिया, status डाल दिया, सो गए. Now what is happening? That whole sense that you had made in your mind, the so-called illusion, which has now been broken by this individual like Atib Rahman or Pranshu. What are they doing? They are asking their mothers, how much is the bill? What is the reaction of the mother? Mother is getting shock of her life. She is asking, are you mad? पागल हो गया क्या पढ़ पढ़ के तुम? I would not allow you to go back to Delhi now. Enough of UPS. Now, when she is saying anything like this, what is happening? She is clearly seeing that his son is not what he is, but she is consoling herself that maybe he has become mad after studying a lot of things. Okay, he is my son, of course. He has become mad actually. Something that actually had already broken the order. Now mother is very desperate, very anxious to restore the order. In the sense, she would want to have the same order where it is considered a norm that you should not be asking a bill to your mother when she is giving you food. She is trying to restore that order because that is the real order that she has in the mind, which is required to run the family. This guy is violating that order. Basically, Harold Garfinkel, next day, students came to his class. Garfinkel said, what happened? Students said, sir, मेरे को तो थप्पड़ पड़ गया. I got slapped. Garfinkel said, very nice. Some other student said to Garfinkel that my mother was very upset and he abused me literally, and she said that I would not allow you to go to class again tomorrow. Garfinkel said, again, very good. Because these are those symbols, these are showing that your mother is desperate to restore what she thinks is the social order of family. Okay, that social order has been broken by you, but she's trying to restore it. But the fact is, but the fact is, why did Garfinkel ask the students to do anything like this? Because Garfinkel wanted to reveal to the students that what you think as an objective social order does not really exist. And even if you try to tamper with that order, somehow order will again get restored by the individual themselves. You would not be able to come out of this order. And this order does not have any objective reality, although still you would not be able to come out. Few days back, one student texted me. He said, "Sir, can you please explain ethnomethodology to me?" Okay, he was not uh, our foundation or test series student. Okay, he just wanted to understand what is ethnomethodology. I said, "Call me." He called me. When he called me, I asked him, "Which pizza would you like to have, medium or large?" मैं बोला, "हैं? What are you saying?" Sorry, maybe wrong number. Sorry, I said, yeah. Again, he texted me, "Sir, are you free?" I said, yeah, call me. क्या दिक्कत है? He called me again. This time I picked up the phone. I asked him, "Where have you been, man? It's been a long time. Let us go to CP. Let's have some drinks." Again, he's getting confused. See, basically, when a student would call a teacher, what is the order that student has in the mind? That when I would call, good afternoon, sir. Yeah, good afternoon. Sir, can you please explain ethnomethodology? Ethnomethodology is very simple, you know. It's now this is the order that he already had in his mind. That this is how the conversation is going to go for the next 5 minutes when I would call Nishad sir. But when he's calling me, I'm asking which medium, which size of pizza would you like to have, medium, large, or it's been a long time. Let's go to CP. I'm talking random. But I have distorted his order. And still he is thinking that maybe I have phoned on the wrong number. He is trying to restore the order that he thinks exists objectively, that when a student is having conversation with teacher, there has to be decorum, question answer, question answer. I have disturbed that order. Okay. This order in itself does not have any objective reality. We construct this order every day because this is what we have been seeing since childhood. Since childhood, we have been seeing, raise your hand before you speak anything. Okay, ma'am. So we have already internalized this thing that when you speak to a teacher, there has to be discipline, norm, all those things. And now when you grow up, you're breaking this order only to reveal that order does not exist in reality. It is only our repeated attempts which is actually making this impression that order exists. Every day we construct family. Family do not exist. Every day we construct family. Family do not exist. Every day when you would talk to your mother, हाँ मम्मी कहाँ हो? तबीयत ठीक है? How is your health? हाँ पापा सब ठीक है, तबीयत बढ़िया है. Every day you are constructing family by speaking to your father in a submissive fashion, speaking to your mother in a docile fashion, okay, asking your father for money in a very submissive fashion. These are the things which are required for the maintenance of family. You are following all the norms. You are not realizing that you are constructing family every day. Family as a system does not exist. Did you guys understand what I just said? समझ गए? बहुत ही बढ़िया. So now the question is, how is ethnomethodology different from phenomenology? Phenomenology told us social order is illusion. Ethnomethodology is telling us the same thing through experiments. Garfinkel asked the students to go back home, violate the social order, and see how the other person is going to restore the order all by himself. So this is more experimental phenomenology. Write down one line. Ethnomethodology agrees with phenomenology that social order is an illusion. Agrees with phenomenology that social order is an illusion. However, ethnomethodology perform experiments to reveal the chaos underlying the social order. To reveal the chaos underlying the social order. Some of the experiments are first, breaching experiment. Breaching experiment. Second, conversation analysis. Conversation analysis. Okay. And the third is no, don't write it as third. Instead of writing it as third, write down one more line. Ethnomethodologists believe that it is the documentary method. Which is used by members of society. It is the documentary method which is used by members of society to make sense of their everyday life. to make sense of their everyday life. Okay, this was all about ethnomethodology. Now let me explain these things to you one by one simply. Okay, breaching experiment. Let me give you example of breaching experiment. Basically, if you remember Mr. Harold Garfinkel, when he told the students to go home and act as a lodger, someone who is an outsider. When he did like this, when he asked his mother for bill, what did he do exactly? He broke, basically, he breached the social order. That was breaching experiment. Breaching experiment. He breached the order when he asked his mother for bill. As a son or daughter, why or how are you doing this? Breaching experiment. Okay. What is conversation analysis? When that student phoned me, sir, please explain me ethnomethodology. I disrupted the order. I again breached the order. He was expecting me to say, हाँ संतोष बोलो. But instead of this, हाँ संतोष, ये reacting जो होती है, हाँ संतोष बोलो. Instead of this, I'm saying, which pizza would you like to have, medium or large? तो ये अब ये confuse कर रहा है सामने. This is creating chaos. I have breached the order. Okay. He is making sense all by himself. Maybe wrong number लग गया होगा. Now, what is conversation analysis? When you talk to someone on phone, next time you will realize what you are doing is nothing but you are repeating what is required for you to look like normal to the other person. Okay. Suppose you just phoned your friend. Okay, you will ask him, hi, yes I, how are you? ऐसे, सब बढ़िया, everything is fine. Tell me what about you? Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Okay. This is very normal conversation that you guys do. Okay. Suppose I cracked a joke in the middle of conversation. Okay. And he did not even laugh, even for a second. अबे joke था भाई. Joke था. But he is not laughing. You have told him 10 jokes, he is not laughing. Okay. Now the third person will get confused why he is not laughing. Basically, this person is breaching the order. Okay. You expect someone to laugh when you recite a joke or when you tell a joke, but he is not laughing. He is intentionally breaching the order because you think someone has to laugh after this. This is your perception. It is not objective reality. He is trying to dissuade you from believing that this can happen. Okay, see, now I don't want to go deep into ethnomethodology. You will, commit suicide. So that is why enough of this breaching of experiment. Let me give you one more example before finishing this. Have you guys played this game tic-tac-toe? हाँ बचपन में. Now my student is coming. He is doing this. Now my turn. I will do this. Now his turn. You know what will he do? You are thinking that he should make a circle here. But what is he doing? He is doing like this. He breached the order. You would not be able to make sense. ये क्या कर दिया भाई? पागल वागल हो गए पढ़ पढ़ के, जाओ खेलना मत आना मेरे साथ कभी दोबारा. You would restore the order by calling him mad or illiterate or nonsense or not someone who can have fun. Okay. Someone who is jealous of me winning against him. This is how you would restore the order again. Order is illusion. World is illusion. Every day we repeat all those roles that people expect from us. Only then the order is maintained. When you go to old Nagar, you ask the shopkeeper, Kumar bookstore, बाजीराम का लेटेस्ट वो देना हैंड आउट या फिर इसका वो देना इसका. व्हाट विल ही डू? ही विल से ये लो. हाउ मच? 100 रुपीस. ये लो. गॉन. He has gone to his shop, you have gone to your home. Order was very neat and clean. This is something that you take for granted. Now I am going to the same shop, Kumar Book Center. Okay. I am asking for notes. Okay, any coaching note or any book. Okay, he is giving me the book. Okay, I am asking him, I want blue Harlambus. He gave me blue Harlambus. I am asking him, I want orange Harlambus. He gave me orange Harlambus. Next, I want Ritzer. He gave me Ritzer. ये आ गया मेरे पास. मजा आएगा. I want Igno. ये लो, Igno भी लो. ठीक. I want Giddens. ठीक. हो गया. Now what we'll do? You will throw this. I don't want anything. Then अब पागल वागल हो तुम. 1 घंटा वेस्ट करवा दिया मेरा. You wasted my 1 hour. I could have made so much of money. Basically, you have now gone beyond that economic relation that you think exists and should be existing between you and that shopkeeper. You have gone beyond it. You have breached the order. And when you do so, he would say, तुम्हारा यूपीएससी नहीं होने वाला. This is how he would restore the order. पागल आ जाते हैं 1-2 दिन में, चलो कोई नहीं. Restore the order. Basically, the social world is illusion. Every day we repeat our roles, our performances, the people that expect from us, we repeat those things every day only to make ourselves believe that yes, reality exists. The order is tomorrow when you will become IAS officer, what will you do? I'll tell you what you will do when you will become IAS officer. Okay, you will sit in your chair. Okay, in your cabin you are sitting. Your assistant will come. He will say, sir, Mr. Pandey has come. He wants to meet you. What will you do? You know you are very idle. You are sitting free. You will say, ask him to wait for 20-25 minutes. Why? Why should he wait for 25 minutes when you know you are free? You know this. And you yourself have called that person out. But you know you are IAS officer, and as IAS officer, there are certain role expectations from you that you should not be giving time very easily to someone. You would have to make yourself busy, appear that as if you are busy. Okay, or you would have to go by norms and rules or laws to the outsider, irrespective of the fact that you yourself in your personal life may be doing something that is illegitimate. Okay, but you have to display this behavior that you are a bureaucrat serving to the government of India. So these are the things that I do. You would be doing this because this is what you have been seeing since childhood. You have seen on YouTube videos IAS behavior, how they behave, how they do not talk to just any random people when someone is take jao. They would आओ मेरे से भी salute ऐसा नहीं जाओ. You would repeat all those things. When you see all these things, you would start doing all those things all by yourself. Government of India never tells you this is how you have to behave with the outsider person. This is not law. This is only norm, and we follow this norm. This kind of thing forms a document in our mind, and we repeat all these performances, actions There is no objectivity in IAS behavior behaving like this, but we are doing this because we want to display to the world that this is what IAS officer and this is what I have become. This is known as documentary method. When you see every day people like acting like this, it forms a document in your mind. And when you become one of them, you also start doing like that. There is no objectivity in your performance. It is only an order that you have followed, social order. Okay, ethnomethodology is over. Next is symbolic interactionism. You will realize how these things can now be written even in psychology versus sociology or common sense versus sociology. And gradually, when I will teach you Unit 4, then more things will crop up. You will feel, this can also be written in Unit 1. Sir, can we write this in Unit 1 also? Yes, of course. Can we write this in Unit 2 also? Yes, of course. Sir, can we write this also? Likho. You have to write only 250. This is the challenge. You would want to feel, you would want to write everything that you are learning, but UPSC will constrain you. No more than 250. This is a challenge. So how to maintain the balance is something that I will talk about tomorrow. Symbolic interactionism. What is symbolic interactionism? World consists of symbols. World consists of symbols. And individuals make sense of the world by interpreting the symbols. World consists of symbols only. Everything is symbol. There is no reality. Okay. Individuals make sense of the world by interpreting the symbols. Now you will start feeling we are slowly entering into the uncharted territories of philosophy, psychology, critical realism, all those things. Okay, but हम deep नहीं जाएंगे because we are students of sociology. Okay. World consists of symbols. Individuals make sense of the world by interpreting the symbols. Next line. Social order. Social order is the result of. Social order is the result of. Social order is the result of individuals. Is the result of individuals interpreting the symbols in a uniform fashion. Next line. Symbol in itself does not have inherent meaning. Symbol in itself does not have inherent meaning. Symbol in itself does not have any inherent meaning. Rather, we as active players, attach meaning to those symbols. Rather, we as active players attach meaning to those symbols. Now, let me explain. World consists of symbols. Let us start with your room only, where you guys are sitting right now. Okay. Everything around you, you can easily see. You can see a laptop before you. You can see pen right next to you. You have a paper in front of you. You have books at the back of the laptop, on the back of the laptop. Okay, or you are sitting on a chair. You have a table before you. Okay. Or what are these things? This pen, paper, table, chair, books. What are these? Are symbols. These are symbols. The t-shirt that you have put on is also a symbol. The watch that you have put on is also a symbol. The hairstyle that you have is also a symbol. The language that you speak is also a symbol. The hands that I move while speaking is also a symbol. Everything around you is symbol. And we interpret the meanings of these symbols because we understand collectively what these symbols stand for. Suppose you go out of your house and you see a big bungalow with huge gate. इतना बड़ा गेट सीढ़ी लगा लोगे तो भी देख नहीं पाओगे अंदर कौन रहते हैं. Huge gate, but it is a symbol. You will not try to enter into the gate. It is a symbol that stay away. Elites live in here. Okay. So your friend would want to, have a sneak peek into the house. तुम बोलोगे पागल हो गया क्या? निकलो यहाँ से. It is a symbol. Stay away. You are studying sociology since past 2 years or 1 year or 1 month or 20 days or 10 days. Okay. You are studying. Suddenly one advertisement comes on television. Okay. Advertisement. Okay. You were studying sociology for last 15 minutes. Suddenly one advertisement came on television about Maggie or 5-star chocolate. Now you would want to have Maggie. छोड़ दोगे पढ़ाई, अब मैगी खाने का मन कर रहा है. खाते हैं पहले 2 मिनट का ही तो बात है, फिर बना लेंगे, फिर आप वापस पढ़ेंगे. Now what was the symbol, that advertisement? It was symbol of craving. You started craving for Maggie. Okay. And how did you interpret that advertisement as? Really, I want to have Maggie. It's been a long time. आज तो खानी ही खानी है. Okay. Whatever you do basically is nothing but result of the symbols that you are seeing around you. You will be, going through this market, Old Rajendra. Okay, every day. Okay, and you have decided that you will not be looking left and right. So many bookstores are there. Okay, you are simply looking at your house. घर का है तुम्हारा, वहां देख रहे हो. Okay, the moment you turn right, you meet your friend. अबे तूने book ली ये वाली? Did you buy this book? No. ले तेरा नहीं होएगा. कितने की? How much is it? Hardly 200 rupees. ले लो. अभी निकाल. 200 rupees symbol. Go to shopkeeper. That book, symbol of your success. Because you believe you do not read the book, you are not going to clear UPSC. You pick up the book. You hand over the money to the shopkeeper. What is this money symbolizing to him, that to the shopkeeper? The faith that you have reposed in his shop, and the faith that you have reposed in the book, and also the satisfaction that he is not going to get, that he has made this much of money. Everything is symbol. The whole thing, ये जो मैं कर रहा हूँ ड्रामा, ये जो हाथ अपने आप हिल रहे हैं, I do not know why. You are also making sense of these things when I'm explaining these things to you. Unconsciously you are making sense of these things because you know, हाँ ऐसा हो जाता है, बोलते बोलते आदमी हाथ हिला ही लेता है, ठीक है. But this is also symbol. Okay, this symbol may be interpreted by someone as this man is completely nonsense, mad. Okay, wavering hand for no reason. Okay, some people may interpret, no, it is very natural, it is okay. Okay, so to all those who would feel it is okay to wave hand like this while speaking, so to them it would not be very nonsense, it would make very complete sense because this is what they have been seeing. So it is also a symbol. When I say like this, it is a symbol. What is a symbol? What does it signify? Now you would say it signifies all the best. When all of you would start believing it signifies all the best, you would take it as good luck only. The moment Russian man sees me doing like this, he may get offended because in Russia, this stands for FU. Okay, FU. This is the meaning of this symbol in Russia. But we made sense of this symbol as best of luck because we know that this is the meaning of this best of luck. Obviously, छोटा बच्चा तुम्हें ऐसे जब करता है अंगूठा दिखा रहा है तुमसे नहीं होगा. The meaning of symbols are contextual, and you contextualize the meaning of those symbols according to the interaction, according to the individual that you are having conversation with. Only then the social order becomes or feels like objective. Otherwise, it is not. Okay, this is what symbolic interactionism is all about. That means somehow you now would start getting confused gradually between phenomenology, ethnomethodology, symbolic interactionism. But remember one thing, I told you, symbolic interactionism and ethnomethodology are phenomenological schools only. They belong to phenomenology, both of them. All three of them talk about order, social order. There is no objectivity in the social order. We construct order every day by interpretation of the symbols according to symbolic interactionist. By repeating our behavior and having expectation from the other person, ethnomethodologist. Okay, this is the core of the non-positivism is. In conclusion, write down. In conclusion, non-positivist methodologies critique positivism, critique or criticize positivism. In conclusion, now this is the next layer of understanding. How come these are criticizing positivism? Okay, non-positivist methodologies critique positivism on the grounds. Or what are the grounds? First point. Write down first point. What are the grounds on which non-positivist methodologies are criticizing positivism? The first point is, if you remember, first positivism told us that we have objective reality. The world is governed by laws which are external to actors. Actors are simply governed by those structures. Okay, the world is highly objective in nature. This is what positivism says. What is the meaning of positivism? They are trying to study society in a scientific fashion. Okay, that is why they are talking about discovery of laws which govern our behavior. Okay, for ages, which govern the structures of society. Okay. On the other hand, when I just told you about non-positivist methodologies, somehow you got an idea that there is no such law which governs individuals. There is no such law which governs structures like religion, economy. It is about us. We every day perform. Every day we give meaning to symbols. Every day we talk to the other person the way he expects from us. Whether to a mother, to a teacher, only then social order exists. Otherwise, it does not exist. It is we, the actors, who are every day creating social order. Social order, as such, in an objective fashion, does not exist. If it does not exist, how can someone theorize on it? How can someone make a law and tell when the social order will come? Remember French Revolution? Auguste Comte said it is complete disorder phase. I, the scientist of society, I will tell everyone when this social disorder phase will get over, and when are we going into the social orderly phase where there will be no chaos. All these structures which have just gotten disintegrated, like monarchy, disintegrated, patriarchy, disintegrated because of Mary Wollstonecraft. All these structures, patriarchy, monarchy, and religion also got questioned. All these structures which have gotten disintegrated, I will tell, I'm scientist of society, I will tell when all these structures will get again into the order. I will tell when all the people in the world will start thinking in a scientific fashion. Whatever revolutions happened, these revolutions are natural occurrences because society evolves naturally. There is a law of evolution that society is solving. Again, society will come into order. And what are these people talking about? These non-positivist methods. They are saying there is no law. No, we are not some passive actors governed by some large structures. We construct our everyday life. You do not, you are not simply, for example, let me give you one example. Everything will be clear to you now with just one example. एक ही shot में सब खत्म. Positivism और non-positivism सब खत्म. Positivism. Non-positivism. Suppose you are A. You fell in love with B. Okay. He also fell in love with A. Okay. Both of them decided to get married. Two people fell in love with each other. They decided to get married. Now, if Auguste Comte would look at these two people who have just decided to get married, what will he say? Now you will understand what is positivist explanation, what is non-positivist explanation, how both of them differ. If two people decided to get married, you know what Auguste Comte will say? Auguste Comte will say, it was natural, natural, and a part of evolutionary process. Evolutionary process. Secondly, what he will say? He will say marriage forms families. Families are the units responsible for maintenance of order. अग्रीड? यहां तक समझ आ गया है तो यस बोलो, नहीं तो नो बोलो, ठीक है? जो लग रहा है वो बोलोगे, यस बोलोगे तभी अगर समझ आया, नो बोलोगे तभी अगर नहीं आया। यस यस यस, वेरी गुड, यहां तक समझ आ गया ना, बहुत ही अच्छा, बहुत ही अच्छा। अब 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लो क्योंकि दिमाग अभी खत्म हो जाने वाला है। ओके, यू गाइज आर नाउ गोइंग टू, आई टोल्ड यू on the second day itself that sociology is very dangerous subject. Okay, after few days you'll start becoming, or you'll start speaking like a skeptic, nihilist, someone who does not believe in anything. But I don't want you to be like that because you are preparing for exam. These things are good only if you are able to understand these things. Okay, you are not aiming for higher studies, remember this. So do not ever develop interest to such extent that you forget everything else. But यहां तक समझ गए हो तो very good. Now take 5 minute break. Exactly after 5 minutes, let us see what phrenologists are going to talk about these two people, or what Max Weber, social action also I'll introduce. Okay, then you will easily get to know exactly what is the meaning of social action theory, phenomenology, ethnomethodology, symbolic interactionism, and one more which is still left, that is dramaturgy. Okay, 5 minutes break. Let us start. Two people fell in love with each other. August Comte coming in. He's explaining it was part of natural evolutionary process. Society evolves. Structures of society would also have to evolve. Individuals are simply governed by those structures. They are falling in love. That was inevitable because family is a unit which has to be formed in the society. And they are simply like a passive robot forming a family without realizing that they are fulfilling the need of larger society. Family as a structure that was not even there somehow made them fall in love with each other so that they could form the family. Now, why family as a unit is important? Because it is the family only which is going to produce the tomorrow's working class, or the workers, or the parents, or the upcoming teachers, or the engineers. It is only through family that these people are going to get produced. So when two people fall in love with each other, that is when the drama begins. And these people are now get ready to accommodate it into the larger structures which are going to fulfill the function of the larger system. समझ गए? Everything fine till here? Okay. What have you written? उज्जवल इतना बड़ा mess. Essay. Now let us see what Max Weber will say when these two people are falling in love with each other. Max Weber also belongs to non-positivism tradition. He also belongs to non-positivism tradition. And what are the points about non-positivism? They place importance on individuals or structures. Individuals. I told you this yesterday only. Do they believe that law governs our actions or law governs society? They do not believe in law as such. They do not believe in law. Now the question is, how would Max Weber Explain the two people falling in love with each other. Is the theory that he has given, his name, the name of theory is social action. What is Max Weber telling us? Max Weber is saying this man is falling in love with this girl because this man knows that once he gets married to this girl, he will become famous and he will now get more social contacts because this girl is a daughter of president. He will get more contacts. He will get to meet Ambani, Adani. He will get a chance to establish his own business. That is why he is marrying this girl. Love was nothing but illusion. It was created by the active player called as Mr. A, so that one fine day he could exploit this girl and make full use of this, of all the contacts that this girl's family possess. And the girl is not ready to accept that it is illusion. He's saying, no, no, he is my lover. I love him badly. He also loves me badly. Okay, but the real meaning and motive Max Weber is trying to study. Max Weber is saying, what is social action theory? Actors attach meanings and motives to their action. The task of a sociologist is to study these meanings and motives. Everything fine till here? August Comte cleared, Max Weber cleared. Okay. Now let us try to see what phenomenologist Mr. Alfred Schutz has to say on the same action of two people marrying each other. Alfred Schutz. He has given which theory? Phenomenology. Phenomenology. Now what will he say? He will say love is illusion. If you remember, I told you social order is illusion. So he will say the very concept of marriage is illusion, love is illusion, the whole idea of forming a family, it is also illusion. There is no objective reality as such. How? Now why? ऐसे कैसे? ये क्या बात हुई? I'll explain it. Mr. A, Miss B. This Mr. A gave Miss B engagement ring. Engagement ring. She also gave to Mr. A engagement ring. Both of them got engaged. Now, Alfred Schutz, he's a phenomenologist. To him, life is not so easy. He will stop you right there. He will say, how exactly now you feel that you are engaged? How exactly? You will say, अरे भाई अभी अभी तुमने अंधे हो क्या, तुम आर यू ब्लाइंड? I have just exchanged engagement ring with this girl. He will say, this act in which you both were involved in exchanging rings with each other, this act made you feel that now she is committed to you and you are committed to her forever. There is no objectivity, it is only our belief that by passing rings or exchanging rings, now we are committed. There is no objective reality in here. We have reproduced this or produced or manufactured this reality by our active actions of exchanging rings with each other. Marriage, that you think is a sacred institution, is actually made sacred by these actions that you have done, by exchanging rings, by having extravagant family function, or by spending stupendously or extravagantly on the expenses or dinner or reception. All these things actually made you feel that you are getting married. All these things made you feel that you are getting married. Otherwise, marriage is illusion. It does not exist. These are the things. See, your life was generally how a common man thinks about his life. Before marriage, I was like this. After marriage, I was like. See, the fact is, there is no clear line distinction. It is your belief that you have gotten married. Otherwise, the feelings that you now share with the girl, though those kind of feelings you already had for some other girl as well. And that girl also had some same kind of feeling for a other boy. But now you have disturbed everything and now you have considered, then now we are married, we are married. See, the fact is, love happened to you multiple times, even with a boy or even with a girl as well. But now you have made it reality. Now this is marriage. There is no objective reality. Agreed? ठीक. Okay. So what exactly did Alfred Schutz study? In one line, I would say Alfred Schutz actually studied. See, Max Weber studied meanings and motives attached by the individuals to the institution or to any action. On the other hand, Alfred Schutz is studying how the meanings are constructed, how meanings are taken for granted, and how the exchange of meaning and are giving us orderly appearance of a social order. He is going deep into Max Weber's theory of meanings and motives. He is talking about the construction of meaning, how these meanings actually make us believe that order exists when it does not really exist as such. Okay. Let me talk about ethnomethodology. How will ethnomethodologist study these two people falling in love with each other? They agree with phenomenology. Social order is illusion. What is the next step they do? They try to show the students of sociology that yes, social order is illusion. Okay, and how they try to show it to the students? By performing experiments. By performing experiments, by breaching their order, which they believe is objective reality, but is not really. So what will they do? As a phenomenologist, I am a phenomenologist. Let me assume I am ethnomethodologist. I am a student of Mr. Garfinkel. Okay, and I am going to get married to a girl. Now, this marriage function is actually an experiment that I have performed intentionally because Garfinkel has told me you have to get married only for one day. Only for one day you have to get married. So I created the whole drama. Okay. Since for 1 month I created one drama, invitation card, छपवाया सब कुछ, because I am preparing for experiment. Okay, Mr. Garfinkel has told me to perform experiment, so I am doing this. Now, on the final night, okay, when all the guests, after having their dinner, going back to their home, okay, suddenly I'm telling this girl, it was really nice presentation, thanks for cooperation. What? Thanks for cooperation? Nice presentation? No, actually, sorry, I did not want to tell you initially. Actually, it was a project. The marriage actually is a project for me. It was a 300 marks project for me. Sorry, I wanted to get maximum marks. I want to top in the class. That is why, the whole thing. What is the reaction of the girl? He will say, "What a joke! You are joking now. You're joking, joking. No, this is not a joke. No, joking." Then she will start crying. Okay. Now her family will come, and then they will make you guys sit together. बेटा ऐसा मजा आ गया, सब नहीं चलता है बेटा, समोसे हो गए, चटनी हो गया, सब हो गया, खत्म। आप कह रहे हो कि प्रोजेक्ट था. They will somehow try to restore the order. Okay. The whole act of marriage was a function created by me. It was a project for me. Okay. And I breached the order. Instead of going out with the bride, I'm telling her on the final night when all the guests had gone to their home, thanks for the cooperation. It was really nice doing the project with you. This is ethnomethodological experiment. Okay. This is experiment. Trying to make you believe that whatever you saw and took for granted now, कि अब तो भाई चलो अब घर जाएंगे, ठीक है? Everything that you took for granted does not exist in reality. These are socially constructed ideas. Okay, this is what ethnomethodologists will do. Okay. Okay. Giving more and more importance to the actor, telling them to perform experiments and to violate or to breach the order that you think exists in reality, but it does not really exist. Okay. It is, see, let me tell you very simply, on the final night, that is the reception night, both you guys take it for granted. Ki bhai, everything is over. Now we are going to live peacefully forever. But on that night itself, if the other person tells you, thanks for the presentation, all those things, all the social order that you had in your mind, all the dreams that you had made of the house, the kind of furniture that you are going to have, the garden, the dogs and cats that you are going to have in your house, the curtain, the kind of curtain made, sare plan khatam. This was social order, nothing else. This was ethnomethodology. Now, dramaturgy. Sorry, symbolic interactionism. Symbolic interactionism. What will symbolic interactionists talk about? That couple who fell in love with each other. The very idea of the exchange of ring. See, ring is a symbol. See, ring is a symbol. The very idea of invitation card. Invitation card is a symbol. Two people are going to get married. अरे पांडे जी आपने बताया नहीं आपका बेटा शादी कर रहा है. कार्ड से पता चल रहा है हमको. कार्ड से. We got to know this through card. And this card we got only through WhatsApp. You did not even send me the hard copy. Through symbols, you are interpreting the meaning. Then next symbol, what you call as pandal. I don't know what we call pandal in English. Okay. Pandal जो भी होता है, the whole function, the ceremony, okay, the big arrangements, okay, huge grandeur of flowers and all those decorations that you have implanted on that occasion. All these are symbols. Two beautiful people are going to get married. Okay, you have gone to a wedding. Okay, you saw DJ. दूर से चल रहा है डीजे, दूर से. तो फिर you will start thinking, हाँ लगता है यहाँ राइट लेना पड़ेगा, इधर हो रही होगी शादी, चलो डीजे यहाँ से आवाज आ रही है. These are symbols. DJ is a symbol. Okay, that marriage is happening here. Take right. Okay. Then one more symbol. Lights. Huge decoration. One more symbol. Photograph of the going to be the couple. Photo. The man and woman. They have clicked a photo. A huge photo. The photo is displayed outside. Right at the welcome gate. Which also symbolize that yes, we are right at the right occasion, at the right place. Marriage यही तो है. देखो फोटो भी है उनकी, देखो ये यहीं हो रही है उनकी शादी. These are symbols. We interpreted the meanings of these symbols. Then we entered and then we looked around. Dal makhani kahan hai? Where is dal makhani? Okay. And then you saw people coming over to you asking, sir, and then you see, it gives you symbol कि कुछ खाने का है इसमें. Okay, then you take out the tissue paper. Okay, then you look out for that toothstick. Okay, then you pick out the chicken piece or fish or paneer tikka starters. All these were actually symbols that made you believe it is the marriage which is going on. Okay. And all of us, all those 1,000 people which have come to marriage, all of them also agree that the meaning of these symbols is this only. Only then the order was possible. Only then you could see people happily moving backward, forward. अरे कहाँ थे गुप्ता जी इतने टाइम से आप मिलते नहीं हो? Okay, everything you could see peacefully and easily, relaxed. There was no chaos in marriage. Although you could see people running here from here to there, but that was very normal to you because you know that in marriage you see kids crying also and asking to mother mummy this ice cream. So you take all these things very casually. This is part of social order that you have in your mind, and you have constructed or you have interpreted the meanings of these symbols in such a fashion that you now believe that it is actually the marriage only which is going on. Agreed? Sindoor, Mangalsutra are also symbols. Very good. Pranav Sharma. Shubhangi. Yes. Okay. Okay. And after this, I'm going to ask you one question. Now, last perspective, dramaturgy. Something which I did not teach you, but now I'll finish it also with example, the same example, so that it becomes easier for you to understand. Sohini Ganguly, so sir, divorce, polygamy, monogamy, widow, kahan chalega wahan pe? Let us not go there. See, I don't want to create chaos right now. What my target is to make sure that people understand these theories first. Okay, and their application to the same phenomena like marriage or people falling in love with each other. Only then we can talk about multiple other phenomena like widowhood, singlehood, LGBTs. Let us not go into those things. Okay. अच्छा आदर्श गुप्ता. ओके आदर्श, अभी आता हूं मैं आपके पास आता हूं, रुको. Dramaturgy. Dramaturgy was given by Irving Kaufman. These are basically, all these perspectives are those which are going to destroy your psyche. That is why it will take time to understand, and that automatically implies multiple revision, but I'm always there. I'll keep explaining these things to you every day. Okay, it takes time initially. Okay, because we are not, we have never heard things like this. The things that I just explained to you, all those things were those which you take for granted. But I have just destroyed all those conventions that we take for granted. Not I, but all these people, because they believe it is socially constructed. There is no natural thing in it. All things are constructed by us to make an impression that everything is objective or natural. Wait, dramaturgy is given by Irving Goffman. What is dramaturgy? William Shakespeare once said, the world is a theater, and all the actors are performing their role. Nothing else. All of us are performing our roles. Role performance. How dramaturgy is going to help us understand two people falling in love with each other? I'll tell you. Suppose I am the boy who proposed the girl. Okay. What will I do? I'll ask my friends, yeah, tomorrow na I want to propose this girl. Kya karu? What should I do? Your friend will say, take her to some nice place first. Nice place. Okay. Lunch karo, thoda dinner karo. Once lunch is over, dinner is over. Okay. Then surprise her. Okay. Yeah, but I have never proposed any girl. क्या करना होता है? What exactly do we need to do when you propose someone? Please tell me now. I'm very nervous. They will tell you, do like this. Hi, beautiful. Or something, some nonsense statement. Okay. Or some any uh, scripted statement they will tell you. You know, the very moment you came to my life, everything got changed. You know, the kind of statements they are going to tell you, now you will enact those statements. Now you will go to the girl and you will perform the drama. The world is a stage and we are performing our roles. Okay, so um, you are love of my life. Would you want to get married to me? Okay. So she's, how cute that was. That was also acting. That was also a role that she was playing. How cute that was. Of course, I am. This was nothing but stage. Both the players performed their roles and both of them fulfilled the role expectation. Man knew if she says yes, what is the expected role on in the theater? You know. The script is already designed. You just have to repeat the lines. And you did that. It is nothing but drama. It shows basically that individuals perform roles and our roles keep changing according to the context. Now the same individual who was blushing like this, would you please marry me, and the same individual in front of his teacher would be always living in fear, sir please marks de do, main fail ho jaunga. theek hai. The roles, your roles, you know, you act as an IS officer. Suddenly this man who proposed this girl in very anxious manner, okay, and lived throughout his life under the fear of his teacher, suddenly one day he becomes IS officer, and then, you know, all the fear, all the anxiety is gone, and now, yeah, मिश्रा जी आप ठीक से काम करो नहीं तो आपका तबादला कर देंगे. The world is a theater. Okay, all of us perform our roles. Is individual governed by law? No. We are active players. Active players. We know where to do what kind of things. We are not governed by laws. We are not robots. We have our own remote control. Huh? मिश्रा जी was nice, sir. नहीं तो यही होता है. Okay, so this was dramaturgy. Now, I know it must be very life-changing theoretical perspectives that you guys just got introduced to. Okay, but these are very easy, very easy. You just need multiple revisions, and I'm always there. As I told you, you can call me anytime, but these things should be very clear to you. Now, for the time being, since I know this is a very difficult topic, I understand this, so I will also ask you guys if you have any doubts so far. We can anyhow, what was supposed to be completed today, we can complete it tomorrow as well, but it is important for me to make sure that you guys have full understanding of unit 1 and 2, because unless we have full understanding of 1 and 2, we would not be able to develop anything unit 4 in unit 4. Okay, so now first of all, Shrishti Agarwal, overwhelming. Adarsh Gupta, Adarsh Gupta, now I will take your doubt. I am unable to relate Schutz with Weber in this example. Please repeat only relation part. Max Weber, social action. Alfred Schutz. Phenomenology. And you guys know very well that phenomenology developed from social action only, according to the flowchart that I made. And in fact, Alfred Schutz also said Max Weber's contribution to sociology in terms of social action is indispensable to the discipline. In the sense, if Max Weber had not talked about social action, nobody would be talking about individuals. Everybody would be simply talking about laws and theories governing the actions of individuals. I'm really thankful to Max Weber that he at least he had the guts to talk about individual social actions, which are not really covered by the theories. Basically, Adarsh Gupta, बात ये है, when these two people are in love with each other, A and B, Miss B, Mr. A, Max Weber would simply study the meanings and motives attached by the actors to marriage. Okay. Basically, Max Weber is throwing light on individuals' meanings. He is not saying that marriage is one structure which would make it inevitable for the individuals to fit into it so that marriage could reproduce the concept of family, which would be contributing to the function of system. इस तरह की बकवास बात नहीं. Max Weber simply saying, when we study social action, and since you know he belongs to formalist school, so he would be interested in limited scope, in the sense he would not be talking about what action functioning to the larger system. We cannot study all those things. Let us try to study small things, that is the meanings which were attached by these two people to the institution called as marriage. How did they look at marriage as? Let us not study how Auguste Comte looks at the institution of marriage or family as to the larger system. Let us only study how these individuals look at the marriage. Okay. And that is why Max Weber would say, okay, and when I'm saying that Max Weber would say whatever I would say is not the absolute answer. This is only one of the answer. There can be multiple perspectives, but whatever that perspective may be, that perspective should only be from the perspective of individuals alone. Individuals alone. Okay. But suppose I am Max Weber. Let us assume I am Max Weber. So I did study on these two people, and I came to a conclusion that marriage to this guy is nothing but act of attaining status. It is an act of attaining status. Married to the girl of president. Who am I? I am IAS officer. ठीक है, IAS officer हूँ. प्रेसिडेंट की बेटी से जब शादी होगी तो कॉन्टैक्ट्स और बढ़ेंगे, and you will enhance your chances to enter into politics as well one day. So how am I looking at this marriage? I had never met this girl, president daughter, and still I am marrying her in the age of love marriage. Still I am marrying her. Okay, because it is not the love which made us, which pulled us together. It was our utilitarian needs. I had a larger image in my head. The social contacts, the politicians' contact that I would make. That girl also had larger image in her head. The security, and marriage to government officer would maintain the same status that she once used to enjoy with her father. Father is also happy. This marriage is not maintaining the system as such. This marriage is only maintaining the needs of these individuals, the two different utilitarian needs. This is what Max Weber would say. Alfred Schutz. Since I told you, Alfred Schutz is very thankful to Max Weber that Max Weber, you introduced the study of individual meanings and motives. Otherwise, we were studying laws only governing the social order, disorder, function of institution to the larger system, nonsense things. Thankful to you that you talked about individual action also. So Alfred Schutz would say, since he is a phenomenologist, in the sense he largely is a philosopher, a student to Edmund Husserl, who was a philosopher professor, and Schutz introduced philosophy into sociology. So, as a philosopher, primarily, he would be studying or interested in studying the construction of meaning, not the intention of the actors. What did Max Weber study? Intention, meaning, and motive of the actors. Meaning, motive of the actors. What is Alfred Schutz is going to study? He is going to study the construction of meaning. Construction of meaning, because he knows social order is illusion. If social order is illusion, how order is maintaining itself? In the sense, how do we construct order? This is what he is going to study, construction of meaning or construction of order. Now, what is the order here? What is the order here? Social order. When you got a phone from your friend, president wants to meet you. Until then, you did not know that president actually wants to meet you because he wants to get his daughter married to you. You said, "Oh, Mr. President, हाँ कोई इशू नहीं है, बुलाओ नहीं, तुम जाओ उधर, हाँ मैं ही जाऊंगा उधर, मैं आ रहा हूँ, ओके ठीक है." So you go there, you meet president. President तुम्हें बिठाएगा, चाय, पकौड़े, samosa. Where are you from, Mr. Kishore? Sir, I am from Punjab, sir. Nice. So, what your father does, what your parents? Tell us something about your family, experience all those. My father is in this service, my mother is in this service. I am, doing this. This is how my life has been. So basically, I wanted to meet you because I'm looking for some eligible bachelor, someone who's really nice, and I have heard a lot good things about you because you have been serving very nice in the district as an administrator. We have heard a lot many good things about you, and I would really want my daughter to get married to you. And I've spoken to her about you, and she's also very happy with the kind of things that you have done in your district. He wants to get married to you. Do you have any problem? No, sir. Why would I have any problem? No, sir. Okay. Now this is what was this? All these things made sense to you because हाँ हाँ ऐसा हो सकता है, हो सकता है, होता है, ऐसा हमने देखा भी है, मूवीज में भी ऐसा होता है. We have seen in movies also, people come here, discuss, act like this, express like this, and then finally they get married. This was nothing but social order, and it was illusion. Now, how it was illusion? Alfred Schutz, what is the interest of Alfred Schutz? Not in studying the intention of actors, but to make us believe whatever you saw and whatever was told to you by Nishat just right now was nothing but illusion, not objective reality. Now the question is how it was illusion? Only because of that smile, that samosa plate, chai, that phone, all these things have gone into the making of the act of two people meeting each other. And all of us agree that when someone is calling you, and asking you for samosa, quoting your family background, and then finally asking his daughter to meet you, you completely agree that yes, this is the process to meet someone's daughter or to meet someone outsider. So you consider it as objective reality. But everything that you just saw would not have been possible if you were from Mars or if you had not such experience from Indian society. You are American person, let us assume. You did not know about samosa, chai cup, all those things and these cultures or these rituals, but somehow you got integrated into these things, and then only these things started actually making sense to you because we have seen a lot of Bollywood movies. Otherwise this is illusion. You would not be able to understand what is happening to me. Why are they serving me samosa, chai, cold drink for nonsense, and then finally asking me to meet his daughter for no reason? If you were American, you would have protested, you are violating my fundamental rights, my privacy. But since you aren't done, it is ritual, part of ritual. The ritual, which is also socially constructed, have no objective reality. You become part of it, do not question it. And this is how the illusion does not really make you feel that it is illusion. You actually start taking it as part of objective reality. Adarsh Gupta. सोशल ऑर्डर इज इल्यूशन मेनली, यही समझना है हमें एल्फ्रेड शूट्स में. ओके, इज इट क्लियर? Don't don't try to copy examples. Eventually you will start thinking like this. Eventually, initially you will have to copy. That is very natural process, but eventually you will start looking at the things around you through ethnomethodological perspective. I'll tell you one very good example. um, this experiment has been done by Delhi University students also. One fine day in Connaught Place, there is one restaurant, McDonald. Okay, what happened in McDonald? People were simply sitting, sipping on cold drink, having French fries, having burgers. Okay, And suddenly out of nowhere, Rashtragan, national anthem got played. Now, अभी जा रहा था, वो चिकन बर्गर जा रहा था मुंह में. उठो उठो उठो, जल्दी उठो उठो, एंटी नेशनलिस्ट कहलाओगे, उठो. उठ गए, सब उठ गए. See, the thing is, what actually they did, those Delhi University people, what they did, they saw one thing very clearly. When Rashtragan, when national anthem was played in McDonald's restaurant, okay, this is something that you were not expecting. You were expecting one social order when you left from your home, that I would have a happy meal. I would also get a toy inside that burger. Okay, my life will be completely changed. Easy burger, ये वो nonsense. Okay, cold drink पी के अपना घर चल जाऊंगा, craving खत्म. All this order got distorted when suddenly you sat in the restaurant, national anthem got played, and then you were like, this basically, it was breaching experiment. They breached the social order that you had in your mind about restaurants. In a restaurant, every restaurant is run by a social order. How? You enter into a restaurant like this. Okay, you have put on goggles like this, and then when you enter a restaurant, and then waiter will say, sir, how can I help you? We need table for 2 people. Oh, sir, just a second. 2 का टेबल है कोई? देखो पता करो, जल्दी करो, सर आए. Sir, 2, yes, table is ready, sir. Okay, so please. Thank you. Whatever I just did, it made sense to you because yes, restaurant में ये होता है ना? होता. If I had said the same things about classroom, it would not have made sense to you. अरे classroom में थोड़ा ना ये होता है, ये restaurant में होता है. But रेस्टोरेंट में हम ऐसे एक्ट करेंगे, क्लासरूम में हम ऐसे एक्ट नहीं करेंगे. इज देयर एनी ऑब्जेक्टिव रियलिटी इन दिस? दिस इज सोशली कंस्ट्रक्टेड. सोशली कंस्ट्रक्टेड. I decided to watch one movie, Conjuring, latest part. I went to movie theater. I sat there. Before the movie was going to get started, suddenly national anthem got played. That was for the first time in my life. In my life, that I saw or I heard national anthem in the theater. I had no choice but to obey. Why? I saw other people standing up, and I thought, if I do not stand up, I will be seen as deviant, someone who do not respect the social order. Although they themselves heard it for the first time. They were not ready for the national anthem to get played there. But they became part of it without questioning it. They simply acted like passive recipients. To them, to Auguste Comte, those people were active, not active people. They were passive recipients. National anthem got played. They simply reacted to the national anthem. They stood up. This man who is sitting and questioning, why are you guys standing? National anthem is not played in the theaters. It is always played in the open grounds. This man is questioning, trying to check the intention of the people who have played national anthem here. He's an active actor. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is that social order is illusion. Alfred Schutz is clearly hell-bent on explaining this thing to us. When you go on the road, last example, okay. When you go on the road, you see red light. All of you see red light. All of you accept, okay, we will stop. It is red light. Okay. Why did you stop? Because all of you share the meaning of this thing, that red means stop. Only then the order could be seen on the road. Otherwise, what you could see was nothing but violation of traffic, chaos and accidents. The moment you see red light, and now you do not obey red light, all the 100 people now go on red light and stop at green. What will happen? This is ethno-methodological experiment, disrupting your order. When you see green, you stop. When you see red, then you go. What will happen? Chaos. Order will be chaotic. And people will become anxious to restore the order. They will say, अरे रुको रुको, तुम green में जा रहे हो, अरे पागल हो, red में तुम green में तुम रुको, red में तुम जा रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो तुम? अब वापस जाओ, वापस जाओ. People will become anxious. They will want to restore the order. This is what happens in our everyday life. Your mother will say, why are you asking me bill? You cannot ask me bill. He will become anxious. He would want to restore the order. Everything is nothing but socially constructed. The world is illusion. Now everything is clear to you. Yes. Sir, your acting skills are commendable. चलो, ये हो गया हमारा एक पूरा पार्ट खत्म. Okay. What exactly have I covered? I have covered 2A, 2B, 2A over, 2B over, 2E also over. How over? See the syllabus. Non-positivist methodologies over. What were the non-positivist methodologies? Phenomenology, ethnomethodology, symbolic interactionism, dramaturgy. Rest anyhow you will get the notes tomorrow. No need to get worried. Everything will be written in a very simple fashion. Okay. Now we are left with only two E, 2C. Positivism and critique. Oh. This is also over, by the way. Positivism and critique. Positivism now you know, but still I'll explain it because I want to explain it exclusively by mentioning 2C. Okay. So I will explain positivism. अच्छा 4:25 हो गया है. Let us do it tomorrow. Tomorrow this chapter will get over. You will get the notes also, and tomorrow we will also discuss EYQs, previous year questions of Unit 1 and Unit 2. And by Monday, you would also have to complete the assignments that I am going to give you tomorrow itself, according to the teams. Okay? चलते हैं फिर. अब कोई क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पे तो अब तो नहीं होगा कोई कंफ्यूज. अच्छा, I think one thing was left na. I was talking about conclusion. On the ground, something like this. I said that non-positivism, critique positivism on the ground. First point you have written. Okay. And what was the first point? Can somebody write what was the first point? I'll automatically tell you the second point. And not written. Not written. Nope. Write down. In conclusion. In conclusion, positivism can be critiqued. Sorry, in conclusion, non-positivism critique positivism. In conclusion, non-positivism critique positivism on the ground. Non-positivism critique positivism on the ground. On the ground. First, individuals are not passive actors or governed by laws. Individuals are not passive actors or governed by laws. Rather, Rather, they are involved in. They are involved in. Ascribing meaning and motive to their actions. They are involved in ascribing meaning and motive to their actions. ब्रैकेट में लिखो मैक्स वेबर. Involved in ascribing meanings and motives to their actions. Bracket Max Weber. Comma. Comma. Interpreting the meaning of symbols to make sense of their everyday lives. Interpreting the meaning of symbols to make sense of their everyday lives. Bracket symbolic interactionism. By the way, symbolic interactionism is given by George Herbert Mead, who is there in your syllabus. G.H. Mead, George Herbert Mead, American sociologist. Okay, so in bracket you can either write symbolic interactionism or you may even write George Herbert Mead. This is simply summary, conclusion, summary come conclusion. Okay, because anyhow details are there in the handouts only, so that's why. Comma. Comma. They are involved in performing their roles by doing impression management. Impression management. Impression management. What is impression management? When you came to propose the girl, that was front stage performance. In the backstage, you were like, yeah, please, throw the tips, yeah, please. In the front stage, full confidence. Okay, this is impression management. You are managing impression. You are managing the way the other person is going to look at you. This is what you are manipulating. The way someone is going to judge me or someone is going to observe me, that can also be shaped, that can also be changed if I perform front stage acting with full confidence. This is why when you would, suppose Atib Rahman, okay, when the other person would talk about you, how Atib Rahman is, 100 people would have 100 opinions on you because in front of 100 people you have performed 100 roles. Nobody would have a full-fledged Atif Rahman's image. Okay, so individuals are performed or doing impression management. Bracket Irving Goffman, dramaturgy. Comma. And individuals are engaged in creating an orderly pattern which they feel is required to have the order possible in the context, which they feel is required to have the social order possible in the context. Which context? That context could be dinner table, that context could be watching movie, that context could be having a wedding with someone. marriage, okay, any context, you create patterns to make yourself believe that order exists. Okay, this is called as basically you have the document already in your head. Okay, and when you see anything violating that document, it does not make sense to you. When you see everything fitting into the document, it makes sense to you. Okay, so when you see grand wedding, it will make sense to you. When you will see big fat Indian Punjabi wedding, it will make sense to you because you have documents of wedding inside you. If something of very opposite of kind you see and would be declared as wedding, like for example, recently during lockdown, one couple got married in the flight, in the aeroplane. So it suddenly becomes news. Why it becomes news? Because it is completely violative of the order. This is not the order. Marriage takes place in a big fashion with thousands of people with DJ, and this man got married in a flight. Violative of the order. Okay. Somehow we made sense. Still, we made sense. We recovered that order. We actually tried to restore the order by thinking पैसे वाले होंगे, इनको कुछ अलग करना होगा जिंदगी में, ठीक है आते जाते रहते हैं ऐसे, हम भी कर लेंगे, पानी में नीचे जाके कर लेंगे, हम ये ऊपर हवा में जाके कर रहे हैं, हम पानी में जाके करेंगे, कौन सी बड़ी बात. You will restore the order. You will say everything is normal. हाँ चलता है एक दोस्त. Okay. This is how individuals are. This is how we are. This is the kind of people we are. Okay, and positivism does not tell me anything about me or you. Positivism only tells us about functions of institutions, actors simply fitting into the institution because they are passive recipients, they have no choice. Larger organism is society. Society has to maintain itself, society has to evolve, so they will simply obey to the larger laws. Which of them is right? This is right, this is right, this is right, everything is right. It's all about perspectives. Okay, chalo. Thank you.